Okay, this is Bob with Frankencooler. Right now in Phoenix it's 111. It's a scorcher. I've got the Blowbox set up here with a hard-sided Coleman cooler. This is the cooler that I bought for, I think it was either 16 or 18 bucks at Wal-Mart. It is about as cheap as coolers come. I've got two 10-pound blocks, and I've got some cubes and a couple of freezer bags in this thing. So probably I've got total, let's say maybe, let's call it 25 pounds of ice in this thing. And you can see I've got it hooked up to the Blowbox. I've got the digital temperature sensor attached to the outflow tube on the Blowbox to see what kind of temps it produces. And we're going to give this thing a shot and see basically how long it will go and effectively cool. Effectively cooling in my books is a minimum of 30 degrees temperature differential between the air going in and air coming out. Let's turn this on. About 52 degrees, 51 degrees as far as the outgoing air. That's probably about where it's going to stay. So anyway, you can see I've got the clock set at 12. So I'm going to set my phone to alarm in about an hour. We'll come out in an hour and see how we're doing. Temperature is 111. Dew point, I think, is something like 60 degrees. It's extremely humid. We're during the monsoon season here in Phoenix. It does get humid. So anyway, we will come back and check on it. Obviously, because the box on top of the cooler, it's too big of a pain in the butt to open the cooler to see how much ice is there. Sufficient to say there's still ice there. So let's come back in another hour and see where we're at. Okay, coming up on 2 hours. Actual time in Phoenix when I'm doing this test, it's just before 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Temperature on the outflow tube looks like about 57. Temperature in Phoenix, in the Deer Valley area where I'm at right now, is 112. And you can see the temperature's come down a little bit on the outflow tube, and mainly that's because when this box is sitting directly in the sun, obviously the box itself is getting really hot. And it's a sealed box, and so, you know, obviously the heat exchangers are also getting a little bit of heat soak in there, and that's where all of a sudden you come up with this temperature swing of like 5 to 10 degrees. So anyway, now the box isn't in the direct sun, it's cooling down a little bit. We've got the outflow temperatures back in the 50s, even though it's still, like I said, it's about 112 right now, and relatively high humidity. So anyway, we're at 2 hours. I'll set my phone for an hour alarm, and we'll come back and check it out, see what's going on an hour from now. Okay, we're at 3 hours now, and outflow temperatures are 66. Outside temperature is 107. Still humid, obviously. We're on the downward side of this, it appears. So I think when I come out again, I think I'll do it in 30 minutes to see where we're at. But anyway, we're still at a respectable 40 degrees temperature differential. So that's pretty good. Pretty good. Anyway, I'll be back in a half hour. Okay, back after another half hour. We're at about 3.5 hours now. Temperature reads 75. Let's see what Phoenix temperature is showing up as. Actually, it says 109 for Phoenix right now. It is 5:17. So if that's true, it looks like we're about 34 degrees or so temperature differential. Obviously the ice has melted. And we're on our downward slots, so still over 30 degrees. The air feels great, like when it's this hot outside. I mean, 30-degree temperature differential feels awesome. So anyway, I think we'll give this one more half hour and we probably will be done. We'll be at the 4-hour mark. So anyway, I will be back in a half hour. Okay, we're coming up on 4 hours and the ice is long since gone. We're at 83 degrees. It is still, I don't know, 108, somewhere around there. So anyway, obviously we've fallen under that 30-degree point, which is what I consider to be effective cooling. So this thing is done. So essentially it looks like, let's just call it about 3.5 hours for a hard-sided cooler with about 25 pounds of ice. This is a 50-quart cooler. If this was like a 62, I could have got an extra 10-pound block, maybe even 2, and extended this by an hour or so. But anyway, that's what you get with this. Again, super cheap cooler, not a ton of room, really hot day. So that's what we got.